Kia ora everyone. We're here to talk about proposed changes to the Golden Mile. The Golden Mile runs from Lambton Quay through Willis Street, Manor Street to Courtenay Place. As our city grows, and we're expecting 50 to 80,000 more people to call Wellington home over the next 30 years, we're going to be putting more pressure on our streets, on our roads and on our footpaths. And that includes the Golden Mile, the heart of our city. 37,000 people on buses go along these streets every day, and about 30,000 people are walking up and down on these pavements. These are some of the busiest streets in our country. People have looked at the Golden Mile for years and wondered what to do about it. This is now your chance to have your say. As part of the Let's Get Wellington Moving partnership with the New Zealand Transport Agency and Greater Wellington Regional Council, we're consulting over the next month on 3 different scenarios. Now you don't have to pick one scenario, you can pick bits of each scenario which best fit what you think we should do with the Golden Mile. The 2 big aims are to improve the reliability and efficiency of public transport. This is the key part which virtually all of our bus services go through, and to improve the amenity and safety for pedestrians. As I said, 30,000 people walking up and down on these pavements every day. Of course, all this sits alongside what we've already agreed to do, which is to reduce speed limits in the central city to 30 kilometres an hour across all CBD streets. The Golden Mile has been 30 k's for several years, but we are now extending that to the rest of the CBD streets, excluding the Quays and Taranaki Street and Kent and Cambridge Terrace. Now I've got with me today John Milford, who is Chief Executive of the Wellington Chamber of Commerce. John, welcome.
Thanks for the opportunity to contribute to the conversation and final outcome to the Golden Mile.
John, can you tell us a little bit about the Chamber for those people who don't know about your membership and
Yeah. So the Chamber of Commerce has actually been here a little bit longer than Wellington City Council.
Goodness me.
In fact, we helped set up Wellington City Council, so about 165, 170 years. Chamber of Commerce always comes when merchants arrive anywhere in the world. In fact, Chamber of Commerce is over 600 years old as an organisation. So we're here to promote the aims and goals of the business community, to help and assist them, and to make sure that their voices are heard both at the local government level and also the central government level. So our members go from sole traders right the way through to the big end of town. So different memberships, different reasons for belonging to us, but generally here to promote the business community.
And you've got how many members?
In Wellington City, we've got over 1,000 members, and if you look at the Lower North Island, about 3,500 members.
Okay, so there's a serious amount of weight behind the Chamber's views. So, when you're talking to your members about changes to the central city, and particularly around transport and about planning the way we plan our streets, what kind of feedback are you getting from members generally, and particularly interested in the retail community?
So one thing I would say is that I speak as I'm mandated by my members, so we regularly seek the members' views. So this is not my views, I'm speaking on behalf of our members. And it's interesting, in the few years I've been associated with the Chamber, that our members' views have changed on what they think is the priorities for Wellington City and their support. 5 years ago, it would have been parking at any cost and forget the other modals of transport. Now they have a much more balanced view of the outcomes the city's looking for. So really what our members are saying to us, they appreciate and accept that the city's got to move on, that we need multi-modal transport solutions, that cycling, walking, scootering, mass public transport is an integral part of the solution both the public and the business community are looking for. The trick is how it's delivered, and the devil's always in the detail.
Indeed, yeah. So in particular, the retail community, what sort of feedback do you get from retailers?
If you look at the data, and I'm a great believer in let's put aside subjective and look at objective things. 88% of the people who use Wellington City's car parking spaces, the on-street parking, are here for the less than 3 hours. So what that tells us is that it is the shopping community that's basically using those car parks. And I think we need to be really mindful of that when we look to take those car parks away. And what I'd like to think is that we find a solution that continues those shoppers to come into the city, because they are part of the lifeblood of the city, but it also allows us to come up with solutions to move forward on transport options.
Now we often hear a lot of people talking about parking in particular and saying, look, because I can't find a park or because it's too expensive, I'm off to Queensgate or to Porirua. Again, what sort of advice have you got for us on that?
Well, look at the data, and you shouldn't be surprised at that feedback. I mean, Wellington City provides 7 car parking spaces for every 100 jobs in Wellington. It's 3 times greater in Auckland and 5 times greater in Christchurch. We are at a crossroads in the city's development. We are busting at the seams. We use public transport more than others. We have a high usage of car parking spaces. We have all of that says to us that we need to make changes. The key, though, is how we make those changes, how we sequence those changes, how we don't allow that to impact on any particular part of the business community, and how we consult in the right, proper way, and we actually make pragmatic decisions, but decisions that will lead ultimately to the right outcomes. And it could be that we have to speed up some of that sequencing to deliver what we think. Isn't it great, all these diesel buses? Hopefully before long, when our electric buses come, we'll actually be able to hear ourselves think and speak.
Look, John, thank you so much for giving up some time to talk to us. Really appreciate it, and we look forward also to your input and all of your members' input, and in fact the wider public. And it's going to be challenging conversations, so thanks for being part of that.
Look, Andy, thank you for the opportunity. The Chamber of Commerce is a trusted partner of Council. We may agree to disagree at times, but ultimately the thing that we're really interested in is a fabulous place for us to work, live and play. So thanks very much.
John, thank you.
You're welcome. Pleasure.